My video for May the 16th, 2019 is video number 3087. The title is Claiming What You Want in the Now Moment. I have quite a few friends I see regularly that keep trying to correct me in regard to affirmations. Yes, this subject haunts me. To me, and I've said this many times, thanking God for something I have not yet received seems like lying. Yes, I've played that game in the past, but it does not sit well with me. If there is only the now moment, as is claimed, if everything that exists in both our past and future is here right now, why can't we experience what we really have now? I said have, but I wrote want, and either one works. They tell me that if I keep asking, I am affirming that I do not yet have it, or I do not have it yet. I got to read it the way I wrote it. This is unbelief or lack of faith. Of course, I've read many of the inspired teachings throughout my life. The reality of what is real for me, as I'm sure it is with most people, is that the things I want most do not appear or come to pass. Most often, it is the exact opposite that manifests. Rather than getting what I want, I get the very things I do not want. Again, I'm at that impasse. How can anyone get over this hump without compromising integrity? Many friends do claim they are in integrity by affirming a supposedly higher reality that escapes us less enlightened individuals still living here on earth. I'm sure most who watch this can detect or feel my frustration. What does world mean? Where is the kingdom of heaven? Will it ever manifest on earth? Before I go any further, as I said, this is the video for May the 16th, and it's my sister's birthday. Of course, I'm recording it on the 15th, as I always record the day before. She's the youngest of the girls and the youngest child in my family, born in 1955, less than a year after my youngest brother, Cliff, was born. So, Lois, happy birthday, even though I don't think you'll see this. Perhaps one of our relatives, your son Jason, might tell you, or somebody that's still in touch with me, but happy birthday, Lois. But again, getting back to the topic, I attended a group again yesterday, and once again, the early part of the discussion was focused on my unbelief, my lack of faith. Again, trying very hard to correct me that giving affirmations is living by faith. Well, as I said in the blurb, I used to at least somewhat go along with that, but it still catches in my craw, or whatever you want to call it. It is irritating to me that some of the things that I have prayed for most in my life have not appeared. And as I also said in the blurb, often what has appeared is the exact opposite. Like, for example, I prayed for a long time to be able to keep the house that was given to me by my spiritual mom. And yet, though it took time, they finally managed to steal my house, and somebody else lives there now. I'd still like to have that house back. That's where I used to have my meetings every week until my family moved in with me, and then I couldn't have meetings there anymore. And many people in that circle of friends are no longer in direct communication with me, except sometimes when I post pictures or something on my thing, then all of a sudden I get lots and lots of comments and likes and things like that. But on my videos, they leave me alone. I get very few, relatively few compared to what it used to be, likes and views even. something doesn't happen because I have, my faith is not being built up by praying for a turnaround. And some people are telling me that the RV is imminent. I've been hearing this for years, and I didn't even pay any attention to it for a long time until I got back from my trip from Australia, and then I was convinced to invest a little bit of money in an alternative currency, which still hasn't manifested. It was supposed to manifest that month. You got to do it right now, Ron, because it's going to happen before the end of the month. Well, that was June 3 years ago. Not quite 3, but almost 3 years ago. So these are the things that I deal with on a daily basis. And yes, I pray every day. And I ask, and today, again, as I always do, and hugging the trees and touching the leaves and connecting with nature in the park, today I again affirmed that, God, I want to be positive. I want to be able to be truly thankful for what I truly have. And I've gone through that litany of the fact that I'm able to still walk. I'm able to still use my mind. And I mean, I have people that I've seen that they've, even though my mind, sometimes things slip through them like a sieve, I can still use my mind. Not maybe as good as I could when I was younger, but I can still use it. I can still communicate with people. And I'm appreciative of the talents, gifts, and abilities that I can recognize as having possession of and use of now in this present moment. So people say, again, I'm getting back to my blurb, in this world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. That's Jesus, okay? I have overcome the world. Well, did he? This is over 2,000 years later, if the historic record has accuracy, and I do believe there's some truth in it. I think there's been also some manipulation in it, but there's certainly some truth. The world has not been overcome. If anything, it's gotten worse. At least that's how I see it. And where is the kingdom of heaven? They say it's in us. Well, I agree. Everything is in us. Not just the kingdom of heaven, but the world is in us too. Everything is in us because creation contains everything, and creation and the creator, to me, are one thing. The creation is merely the manifestation of the creator. So the creator, you could deduce, must be schizophrenic, but I don't really believe that. I do believe that by the law of allowance, or whatever you want to call it, certain facets of creation, the fallen angels, were able to rebel and are able to continue to exist as liars. And everything, virtually everything they tell us, regardless of what field it's in, is a little bit of truth mixed with a bunch of BS. Will we ever, as humanity, get beyond this in the now moment? Will it ever become a present reality? Heaven on earth, right here, right now, experientially true. Not hoped for, not believed in, not desired, but actual experience on a day-by-day level in the physical world, not just within, but within and without, for they too must become one. Everything is from one point or one source. Everything. That's what I think is true. Is it? I don't know. You have to decide. But I do thank you for listening, and namaste.